Hello everyone, welcome to Vinod Rathinam Tutorials. In this video, we are going to learn about Python identifiers and reserved keywords. Then in addition to that, we are going to see one important feature of Jupyter Notebook, that is how to create the documentation. Then I have mentioned time for each topic in the comments. You can directly watch your favorite topics. What is identifier? Let me explain with an example. During our school time, how we will identify a person in our classroom? With the help of name. Same way, a name in Python program is called as identifier, which can be used for identification purpose like variables, functions, class and modules. Then, in order to name us, our parents followed some rules like astrology, numerology. If not, at least they kept some meaningful name. Same way, we have to follow some rules for Python identifiers. Let me implement this rule one by one. First, we have to open the Jupyter Notebook, type command, enter. Here, Jupyter Notebook, enter. It takes few minutes to load. Once loading completed, this particular URL will be launched in your default browser. We have already created a folder Python tutorials. Here we have to create the Python 3 notebook. Python 3. Rename it Python identifier under reserved keywords. Rename. So the file is created. How to create the documentation parallelly is one of the important thing here. First you have to create the heading. Click on heading, just OK, type here Python identifiers, then press B for the next line to insert. Here you want to type the definitions in the notepad. This is a definition, copy, paste it. Just save it, close. Here we created our file, just open it again. This is how we have to create the documentation parallelly while doing the coding. This is one of the best feature available in the Jupyter Notebook. Same way I have created documentation for rules for identifiers. The book definition says Python identifier is a name used to identify a variable, class, modules or other objects. In simple words, a name in Python program is called identifiers. And we have some set of 5 rules while naming the identifiers. Just press B. Here it should be code. Now we will start coding it. It is always best practice, we have to give the comments. First one is rule 1. The rule 1 says the identifiers is a sequence of letters such as uppercase, lowercase, digit and an underscore. That is alphanumeric character. Let me show a few examples of identifiers which follows the rule 1. First example, it should be uppercase. This is an employee name. Then employee name in lowercase. And the third example is employee underscore name, where we use underscore symbol. And this is how mostly variables are named. This is the best way of naming the identifiers. Then final example is employee followed by the number 1. So that's what says here. We have used lowercase, uppercase, then digit and also underscore. The rule 1 is completed. The rule 2 says it does not allow punctuation characters such as at dollar symbol percentage within the identifiers. If you want to give employee name, I'm using at symbol, just press shift enter. You will get the invalid syntax. Same way, these 3 are the example for invalid identifiers. We should avoid using at dollar and percentage symbol while naming the identifier. Rule 3 says it's a case sensitive. It means the example both are same name, but here S in caps, here in small. It means both the identifiers are totally different. Rule 3 is for case sensitive. Student equal to Vinod, then student equal to Anand. This is a variable in which I saved a string value. We will see the next video about this variable concepts only. For a time being, just understand the concept alone. In 2 variables I saved 2 value. Just print both the variables. You will understand the difference. When we run, so the value is totally different. It is very important. Python is a case sensitive. While naming the identifier, you have to be very careful. and the rule 4 says it cannot start with a digit. If it starts with a digit, then Python thinks it's a number. Example, one employee, just run it, it will say it's a invalid syntax. We should avoid an identifier starts with number, and the final rule is reserved words cannot be used as an identifier. The reserved keyword means, for example, if else statement, we should not use it as a identifier. When you run it, you will get it's an invalid syntax. Same way for while also. We have completed 5 rules. The conclusion here is, as beginner we must remember these rules during naming the identifiers. Same way I have created the documentation for reserved words and rules for reserved words. A reserved word means in Python some words are reserved to represent meanings or functionality. Such types of words are called reserved words. And it is also have 2 rules. All the Python keywords or reserved words must be in lower case letter only. So we should not use the uppercase. If you use it, then it will throw the invalid syntax. And second rule, it cannot use them as a constant or a variable or any other identifiers names. It means that this particular keywords we can't use it anywhere during coding other than it represent its own functionality. Now if you want to know what are all the reserved words available in the Python, we'll code and see. Press B. Best practice, include the comment program to print all the keywords or reserved words, can be anything. Import is a keyword used to import library, and we have a library called keyword. All these keywords are stored in this particular library. Enter. After this, type print keyword dot, I pressed tab, so it is showing the auto suggestion. In this, select KW list. Now shift enter, run it. These are all the keywords available in the Python. If you want to count this keywords, very easy. Include the comments, total count of the keywords. Now same way, print. We use a function called len, which is used to find this total number of values available in that. Len, just copy keyword dot kw list and run it. We have totally 35 keywords in the Python. In most of the Python tutorial, they have mentioned 33 keywords, but recently in the latest version, they added 2 more new reserved keywords, async and await. These 2 keywords are recently added. So now totally we have 35 keywords. Remember it. I mentioned that in the comments. Async and await are the latest keywords in Python. So totally 33 plus 2, 35. These keywords we can't use as a constant, variable or any other identifiers. A short recap. Whatever I am teaching, I will put it in this website. This URL I will mention in the video description also. You can come here and directly see our coding. We have learned what is an identifier. Name in Python program is called identifiers. Then 5 rules and how to name each identifiers. Then we saw the reserved words or keywords, and it has a 2 rule. We learned how to print all the keywords or reserved words using this piece of code. Then to find the count, we used len function. Make sure whenever you get any doubt, you visit this particular URL for reference. That's the end of this video. In case of any clarification, please comment in video description. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.